You feel like Puffy owe you?
Yeah, he should. I think he should look out. He look out for everybody else.
Do you think Puffy owes you anything? Yes, I believe he should watch out for everyone else. That being said, I hope the Vegas Police Department conducts a thorough investigation to find the truth. It's going to take some nuance, but many of us still get chills thinking about that revealing 2009 tape featured in the 2015 documentary about Shaker's case, where Key D chillingly confessed, yeah, I was in on that Shaker hit. It wasn't just a one-time confession, though, as Keffy took to the airwaves appearing on television, and even on YouTube channels boasting about his role in Tupac's tragic end, as Key D sits behind bars. The whispers and murmurs about Diddy's involvement in Tupac's 1996 assassination have finally reached a breaking point. The most pressing concern for everyone is what will happen to the brazen figure going forward. But brace yourselves for an incredible turn of events that will leave you speechless. Keith D has accused none other than the well-known music scene in New York. Monarch were digging deeper into the rivalry between the East and West Coast hip-hop powerhouses during the mid-1999s, with Diddy's name reappearing time and time again. It's crucial to fully understand the explosive series of events that led us here. It has taken countless hours, really. Puff Daddy. Did Puff Daddy really finance the Shaker hit? That's the question on everyone's lips, especially as Cafe points to a claim from 2000 about Puff Daddy placing bounties. Was anything for them, Dudhead? You know, give me anything for these guys' head. The men and women of our homicide unit worked tirelessly for decades to bring us to this point by 1995. Not only was Puffy dealing with heat from tough feces. That year, there were reports that Puffy sanctioned a hit on Sue Knight's associate Big Jake, and Atlanta's party scene was lively. Orlando Anderson, the nephew of Key D, and Corey Edward W. of Southside Compton, was implicated, according to Deputy C.J. Howard's findings throughout the inquiry. Never one to hold back, Key D even brought up Puffy's pension when he addressed it, raising concerns since he distributed concert tickets to the Southside Compton CPS during his California shows. Was it just a small gesture of gratitude or a calculated move to undermine Sue Knight's authority? Flows as a result of people genuinely attempting to advance their careers and become renowned. People began to refer to it as an East Coast versus West Coast rivalry. Fast forward to October 1995, when Suge Knight was firmly established in Tupac's corner, and the temperature skyrocketed. Tupac's boyhood buddy D.S. Ash remembered a crucial period in the death row during Saga Knight's contact with Tupac in prison. He revealed that everything was drafted in front of him. Tupac told Suge what he wanted: a house for his mother and a car that cost a cool $1 million upfront. After quickly reading the deal, Tupac nodded, ensuring Suge's death row fate. At the '96 Soul Train Music Awards, tensions between the sides reached a breaking point as there were reports of a plot to corner bad boy singers. MC this battle following reports that a desperate Puff made a $1 million offer to Keddy in an attempt to discredit Shaker. Suchi King deduced that Diddy had employed Dwayne Key, a member of the Crips gang, to work for James McDonald, formerly known as the Mob. James reiterated this sentiment, saying that Diddy was terrified of Suge and that there was no way New York was going to face Suge on his turf. His scary remarks brought home the reality of that moment, when many people had bounty on their heads and life had no meaning. Feud. A freshly discovered audio tape shows Keith D describing a heated discussion with Puff Daddy. Diddy started the conversation with Keith, portrayed a very terrified Diddy, and said, "I need to speak to you, big dog." Keith captured Diddy's obvious concern, and Diddy acknowledged that he had a few issues. Sue Evening and Keskek Keith responded with a cool, "We can definitely make that happen." Key D's comments only served to fuel the intense narrative of this gripping tale. The reality is still evasive. One thing is certain, when we dig deeper into this developing story, prepare yourselves for even more startling discoveries. The level of dread, anger, and rivalry during this time was unmatched. And we're just getting started. After a fierce performance at the Anaheim Coliseum, Puffy decided to celebrate by inviting the Southside Compton CPS to a hotel after party. Zip was present at this gathering, and Key D claimed to have learned of plans to bury Tupac and Suge Knight. And this isn't just another unfounded rumor. PK had already attacked Orlando Anderson. They had a prior beef. So the story continues. Use one of Biggie's talents additionally. On March 96, Junior Mafia verified that the Southside Compton CPS was present at the December 95 event in Anaheim. The Soul Train Music Awards were taking place at the Shrine Auditorium. In Los Angeles, both the Death Row team, Tupac and Suge Khan, and the Bad Boy crew, including Puffy and Biggie, made an appearance. Notably, Sud wasn't going it alone. He had an entourage of about 30 Bloods wearing P-Funk shirts to represent the PYUS set. Word spread that their plan was to pull a Bad Boy artist offstage mid-performance, but Key D, acting as security, detected their intentions and effectively put out the fire. Despite this, tensions continued to run high when paps of the crew's cross sparks flew in the aftermath. According to John Deal, Puffy's chief guardian, a disgruntled Puffy claimed he didn't care whether Sig Knight or Pac Biggie saw another sunrise. I remarked, "Yeah, we sure did." He said, "Yeah," he said, "Big God." After the contentious events of the MGM Grand in September 1996, the mood in Las Vegas was electrifying, and Eric Zip was there as well. Notably, Martin didn't arrive in city alone. Orlando Anderson and other Crips members accompanied them. Deidre Smith and Terrence Brown, their preferred mode of transportation was a white Cadillac that they rented from a business associated with Terrence Brown's family. According to their official story, they were in town for the Mike Tyson fight, but oddly, they didn't have tickets. Instead, they watched the bouts. After all these years, ambience from the MGM Grand Lobby Bar finally reveals that Orlando Anderson was the one who pulled the trigger, handed him the gun, set it up, and paid them to do so. In the meantime, Tupac Shaker, Suge Knight, and the Death Row entourage, which included some members of the Blood Gang, also made an impression on Las Vegas. Tupac was on a community service mission connected to the club's 662 charity event, so this wasn't just a pleasure trip. However, the evening took a sharp turn when Tron Lane, a member of Suji's Blood Gang, saw Orlando Anderson among the crowd. The relationship between Lane and Anderson was tainted, particularly following an alleged attempt by the Crips to take possession of Lane's desired death row chain, which was allegedly the subject of a bounty placed by Puff Daddy. This identification escalated quickly, prompting Tupac to confront Anderson with such, and the floods quickly followed. We learned that Keith D was briefed about the altercation involving Orlando during a meal with Zip, and it was evident from their conversation that Zip was rumored to be aware of the $1 million deal. Bounty information recognized an unexpected revelation as a prime window opportunity. In his admission, Keith D said that their trip through Vegas had been unarmed and that Zip had given them the Glock, which was apparently the necessary firepower. The next few hours were a tight game of cat and mouse. Chase while a couple Crips and Keith D focused on Club 662. After an initial altercation inside Club 662, Orlando Anderson and two other individuals remained devoted to the white Cadillac. After Keith D changed cars and jumped into the Cadillac, the quest led them to a liquor store. After this brief pause, Their pursuit of Sue's BMD, which contained Tupac, escalated. It was a tumultuous scene on Flamingo Road that night. Adoring fans screaming out to Tupac made it simpler to identify his car. Yiki Gaddafi, an artist who was close to Tupac, saw the driver of the Cadillac pointing out a white cap that looked strikingly similar to the one that Kidi was photographed wearing. This